Welcome back to the Content Parlor. I'm your host, Dion. We're here with Django and
Sarah.
All right, and this is going to be a special episode. We're doing something a little different. We got real content creators on the show today. Not to say we haven't in the past, but this one is special. But before we get into who we've got here today and what we're going to talk about, I just want to remind you all out there that the Content Parlor is a social club for content creators. It's your one-stop shop. Everything that you see here on the set is available for rent. Yes, you can come to this studio and you can produce the greatest content that you've ever produced. We shoot with high quality cinema cameras as well as photography gear as well. We also have lighting, but we will get into that later in the episode. But why am I wearing this ridiculous getup? Just to get on your nerves, basically. Just to get on your nerves. But let's go ahead and get into our introductions here. My handle on social media, dion.api. You can find me on all the social networks. Make sure you follow the Content Parlor on not only YouTube, but social media for the latest updates at Content Parlor. YouTube, Instagram. We're on all the socials at this point. We got Django here. We got Sarah here. We were talking off set, and you guys have mentioned that you know each other. Mm-hmm. How'd you guys meet?
I was leaving a cursive concert with my friend Sean, and he invites me to a Weezer cover band at his friend's house. That friend is Django, and that was 20 years ago. So
Weezer. So you were in a Weezer cover band?
No, I convinced some kids that were in a Weezer cover band from Minnesota to drive down to Nebraska, and I told them I'd let him play in my basement, and they did.
That's pretty wild. And that still doesn't explain how you ended up there. So the Weezer cover band is in Django's basement, which is already interesting enough.
She was hanging out with a mutual friend, Sean.
Okay.
And I had invited him, and he was going after. And just invited you.
Yep.
All right.
Been friends ever since.
Did we mention the band?
Oh, Cursive or
no.
Weezer?
The name of the Weezer tribute band.
Yes, what was the name of the band?
Meezer.
Meezer.
Okay, so Meezer is super interesting.
Yes, it is.
All right, so they had, let's go through this. They had regular lead guitar player, they had a singer, drums and bass. But they also had
someone playing Game Boy.
Game Boy Advance, to be exact.
Oh, excuse me.
So they would rock out, and he'd be like, and I was like, I want that job.
Yeah, that sounds like a great time. I mean, if nothing, you got a great icebreaker the whole night.
Maybe I'll do that at my next show.
Game Boy Advance?
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
I asked him one time what game he was playing, and he said it was the same game every time. I can't remember what game it was, but it was always the same game.
Nice.
That is very interesting. I wish I was there, but I'm glad you two got to meet through that moment. And so, obviously, you've got the Bay shirt on. You talked about a concert. So, do you play in a band, or what kind of creative abilities?
Yeah. So my
have?
background is music. I've been playing music since as long as I've known Django.
Did you start around then?
I kind of started around then, yeah. But I started volunteering for Omaha Girls Rock in 2014.
Okay.
And that's how I became introduced to that organization. And I was involved with them for many years until 2021. I joined them as operations manager.
I see.
And then this year we merged with the Bay.
Okay.
So
So the Bay and the Girls Rock are one now. So is it just rolled into the program, or will it live on through the Bay as its own entity within it?
It'll be through the Bay.
Okay.
Yeah. So we took a break this year to reassess how we are going to bring back this organization. But next year we're going to resume programming. So the big thing that we do is summer camps, and we serve ages 4 through 18. But we also will do lessons during the school year.
Gotcha. Now, Django, you're in a band. I've seen you post about some different instruments and things. What are you playing? How did you get into music?
I mostly play guitar, just like every other friend that I have. Also plays guitar. So I played in a bunch of bands over the years. I've been playing in the same rock band for a couple years, but it's moving very slowly. We don't have a name yet. We haven't played a show yet.
Interesting.
So hopefully by the end of the year also.
Fair enough. Caleb's in a band. He just recently named his band.
What's the name?
Ex Nihilo.
Ex Nihilo? Nihilo?
Ex Nihilo.
We have our first single releasing on October 1st.
Well.
Like, can we like spit out water when we're...
There's creatives all around. There's great. I have an out of tune guitar in the other room if you want to play something
They
for
can't
us.
hear me back here, by the way, so nobody knows what I said.
Oh, got it. Okay.
They can
Yeah.
kind of hear them. So that's an interesting segue to the Bay, because the Bay, as I understand it, is not only like this gap year thing that I heard about originally, but you've got the skateboarding, you've got like this studio stuff going on. So what's new with the Bay? Like what is the Bay today?
Yeah, so the Bay is a youth development nonprofit. We operate in Lincoln and Omaha. We have I believe somebody's going to skewer me on this, but it's like a 20,000 square foot building in Lincoln where we have an indoor skate park and a music venue. There's a high school focus program there through a partnership with Lincoln Public Schools. And we have our gap year program there, which is for 18 to 24-year-olds who are trying to figure out what's next. We've begun to do a lot of programming in Omaha over the last few years. We're really ramping that up right now. So most of what we have going on in Omaha currently is our youth engagement activities with younger kids in the Benson Community Center. So we've partnered with Omaha Parks and Recs Department to be able to utilize some space in the Benson Community Center. They allowed us to take the old basketball court there in the community center and turn it into an indoor skate park.
Okay.
So we have open hours there every week, several days a week, where kids from the neighborhood come in and they skateboard, they play pool, they play air hockey, they play video games. We've got a bunch of Nintendo Switches set up. We give lessons and workshops, skate school, beat making school. We're always doing pop-up events and working with Benson First Friday to do art market events. So we've been doing that in Omaha for a few years now, really like planting roots in Benson. But this year is the first year that we're bringing our gap year program to Omaha.
Oh, okay.
It's been operating in Lincoln for a few years. And as part of Sarah's role, when Sarah joined us coming over from Girls Rock, one of her roles is going to be figuring out what this new evolution of Girls Rock is going to be with the merger, starting with summer camp next summer, right? But then the other piece is getting gap year started here in Omaha. So I don't know if you want to talk a little bit more about what we expect that to look like in Omaha.
Yeah, so I don't know if Jenko said it's been
Because you weren't listening to like
because I was listening. I just got here. So it's been going on for like 3 years. It's going on its fourth year in Lincoln. So we're bringing it to Omaha for the first time, which is really exciting.
That's awesome.
It'll be a pilot program, so it'll be half as long. In Lincoln, it's like 8 months, but for this cohort, we're doing 4 months just to try it out. But yeah, we are currently recruiting if anyone is interested. The dates are October 6th through January 28th.
Okay, coming up quick.
And
going to teach them a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
going to teach them a bunch of stuff.
I'm particularly interested in the beat making. Those who know me know I have a music background on the studio side. You know, I don't have all these instruments and stuff like these talented people, but on the beat making side, I'm very fond of that just from the work that I used to do. So I'll have to come check that out. Just poke my head in there. Now, is the Benson location open or is it about to open?
Benson location's open.
Okay.
So you could go to our website, thebay.org, hover over visit, and choose your city, Lincoln or Omaha, and we have hours listed on the website there. So there's a lot of open hours for youth to come in over there. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Like, the neighborhood's been great. We've been getting to know all these kids really great, and we're excited to plant roots and be there for a long time.
Now, originally, when you started at the Bay, you were driving to Lincoln every day because you live here in Omaha. So how's the commute now? Are you mostly in Lincoln, or what's it look like?
I've always been going there about once a week. But during the gap year program, there's all kinds of things they do in gap year. I think Sarah can probably explain a lot of it, but the one piece that I can speak to is they have a phase where they get to doing pathways. Could be like entrepreneurship, could be something that somebody decides they really want to get deeper into. Graphic design, fashion, but one of them is the photo video pathway, which is up my alley. So my teammate Audrey and I teach the photo video pathway. So when that's happening, I go to Lincoln a little bit more often. But over there, we're really trying to get people like that intro knowledge about how do I set my exposure on a like professional mirrorless or DSLR camera.
Yeah.
Understanding shutter speed and aperture and ISO. It's super complicated at first.
For sure.
Understanding lighting. We've got professional equipment. These students get a camera kit that gets to be theirs.
That's cool.
That's like a professional, really expensive camera kit that we like make sure they know, like, you got to take care of this.
Yeah, that's cool.
But we show them how to use it, and it's the kind of gear that, like, our friend John uses the same gear, you know, professionally. And so it's just this really great opportunity to kind of like give them this boost, give them this head start, help them skip some YouTube videos.
Yeah, for sure. So it sounds like also kind of breaking away from just being known for skateboarding and just being known for the curriculum and the development of the talent.
Skateboarding's really like a big heart of what the Bay is and probably always will be. It's a big part of it. There's so many incredible things a person can learn through skateboarding that can help them grow. But we definitely, it's not only skateboarding for us by any means.
That's very cool. So Sarah, you know, we kind of talked about girls rock, but I'm just going to be honest. I don't know a lot about the girls rock program. So how did it transition from, in terms of the programming, what it was to what you guys are doing now?
So it started in 2011, just 1 year after you guys started, or I guess we did.
We started around the same time we did.
So 2011, and Stephanie Druten from The Good Life saw the camp happen in Portland, Girls Rock Camp. And they're also like all around the country, all around the world. But the gist of it is like kids with musical experience, without musical experience, come into our program and they learn an instrument. They form a band, they write a song together, and then they perform it in front of everyone at the end of the week within the span of 1 week. When it first started, it was just 1 week. It's expanded to 4 different weeks for different age groups. And as I mentioned, like lessons year round, and we've done like after school stuff like that too.
Okay. But original was a summer program.
Yes,
Okay.
it was just a summer program, but expanded year round. But our main mission is to empower youth through music education.
Okay.
But we serve girls, trans, and non-binary youth.
Okay. Interesting. So I see kind of some overlap with the Bay, obviously. How does this?
Good pit.
Yeah. How does this change the overall mission of the Bay, enhancing it with the girls rock piece? Is the mission just through the youth, or is it still to expand into those like early to mid 20s?
Yeah, both. It's such a good fit, girls rock in the Bay. It's my understanding that there were several other organizations that were really interested in girls rock. But like if you look at the girls rock mission and you look at the Bay's mission, you do see a lot of overlap. The Bay is already doing music programming, but not at the level and to the extent exactly that girls rock is doing. And between everything that comes with girls rock and also Sarah specifically joining our team, it's been really great. Like Sarah has a lot of experience touring the country, touring Europe in multiple bands, record label experience, recording experience, promoting your band experience, all kinds of things that really help, will continue to help us with all these other music programs that we've been doing to try to like enhance them and help them, and also like the mentorship opportunity that's there for her, because there's a ton of kids that go through our programs that really want to get deeper into music. So them having access to Sarah as a mentor is really valuable.
Yeah, I really want to get into that and talk about that before we bring on our special guest. Tell me a little bit more about, I'm just personally curious about, like, what was your favorite show? Like, I'd love to hear from both of you, like, that you performed at or you covered for. What's the favorite venue or favorite show that you did?
That's a really hard question.
List the bands you've played in.
Start from the beginning. The Mangoes, Honey and Darling.
The Mangoes.
Yeah, that was me and my sister's first band.
Cute.
Yeah, we played a Battle of the Bands at Able Hall at UNL.
Okay.
I think it was like straight out of junior high's first show, if you remember that band.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to make you guys feel old. Mangoes.
Honey and Darling.
Honey and Darling, Millions of Boys, See-Through Dresses, and then I've just started a project called Hair Person. But those are the projects that I've
bands.
I'm in, that I write songs in. But I've also, I like doing a hired gun thing where I'm just hang out with bands for a little bit and then maybe play a few shows or a tour and then peace out.
You're like a overqualified roadie.
Sure.
No, she's actually playing in those bands. So, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I've played with Icky Blossoms, Tim Casher, Conduits, just a bunch.
Yeah, I've definitely heard some of these names before. So I'm basically 2 or 3 degrees of separation away from really super famous people. This is cool.
It's the most Omaha thing.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So Django, you're no slouch either. You've opened up for some really cool shows and played some cool venues. What's one of the favorite venues you've performed at?
Olivers.
At Olivers? Among all of them.
No,
Olivers.
I don't know. I don't think a lot of musicians think a lot about like what their favorite place to play is. It's a pretty common question, I think, though, to get, right? Like, so like, what kind of places do you play?
Sure.
And you're like, are they trying to suss out whether I'm good? Like, whether I'm good enough to get a gig at this place?
I think as a consumer of music, we don't always go to venues unless there's somebody there that we want to see. But the venue itself is cool, So I think sometimes that question is asked just, what's it like backstage there? Things like that, because there's things we don't have access to.
I will say I've thought a lot about when I finished college. It's right about the time I met Sarah. I just started to get like into playing in bands, and I was like, oh, finally I found my people, like people that play music, people I'm gonna book shows with, write songs with, and to a certain extent that was true. And then after a while, like I picked up a camera and I started filming people. I filmed like 6 music videos that Sarah was in over the years. And it was the people I was filming with. And I'm like, no, those are my people, you know? And it's super interesting because like with the work that we do at the Bay, like a big part of it is trying to like help kids figure out what their passion is and finding who their people are,
I like that.
you just keep growing, you know?
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Can you talk? I know some people have heard your name or seen some of the work that you do. Can you talk about how you got into the media side of things? I don't even know if I've heard this story yet.
So I thought you were about to like show like a logo. I want to know that same question for you too. Okay, so I know exactly how I started getting into video. I did study broadcasting and communications in college, and so there's a lot of video there. But I sort of paused from that when I got out of school because I was a sports reporter at a weekly newspaper, and then I was a magazine editor at Omaha Public Power District, so employee magazine, you know, so in internal communications. So that was like the first 4 or 5 years of my career, and there was an intern that we had at OPPD, Kyle Wolschleger. Kyle was there to write stories for the website, but he wasn't good at it.
Ooh.
And he didn't like it. And he got a credit card at the Furniture Mart and bought a camera and a MacBook Pro. And he told us he wanted to start making some videos. And he wanted me to like help him make a video. He wanted me to be in it with him. And I was like, nah, I'm busy. I got magazine stuff to do. And he just kept convincing me. And then finally I helped him make the video. He showed it to his boss, and his boss is like, oh, you don't write stories anymore. You're doing video stuff now. And he's like, okay. He changed his internship.
That's wild.
By the time his internship was over, that left this gap where we did have video being made, but he was leaving. And so at that point, he had got me back into doing video, DSLR video for the first time. And I raised my hand and said, I'll fill that gap. I'll do video stuff now. And so he shifted my career completely. He was an intern. I was a 4 or 5 year employee at that point. So within like 6 months, I was no longer writing anything. I was just doing photography and video editing, figuring out Final Cut Pro 7, you know?
7.
And now Kyle bet on himself, bought like even more expensive gear, moved to New York, started being a Steadicam operator for Saturday Night Live shorts, Broad City, all kinds of shows. And now he's a director of photography for Righteous Gemstones, Nora from Queens. He's doing an Apple TV show that he starts next week. That's how I got into it. It was an intern who didn't want to write stories.
Who ended up being highly successful.
And now I look up to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, cool. This is definitely my first time hearing that. How did you get into the creative space? Was it through music or was it something else?
So when I got out of high school, I was going, I studied graphic design.
Okay.
And then,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I tried a lot of different things out of high school. I knew that I loved music. That didn't pan out, the graphic design thing.
Oof.
I went to UNO, and then I was studying music there. That also didn't pan out. And music is the thing that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
But, like, I found out in the most inconvenient and expensive way possible that, like, this is not the path that I want to pursue. There's got to be a different way that I can pursue
Different ways to
this.
get to music.
Yeah, so, there was, like, just a few years there where I was just kind of spinning my wheels. But I just kind of became determined to, like, I just want to be in a band so badly. So I just started going to as many shows as possible, started meeting as many musicians I could talk to that my introverted self would allow. And then just kind of, like, brute forced my way into, like, playing music and doing shows and then eventually touring.
And what instrument do you play?
I have ADHD, so I play everything.
Oh, my goodness.
But I mostly play guitar and bass.
Okay.
But yeah, I feel like Gap Year is a program that I wish existed for me because I feel like I would have thrived in a program like that.
Yeah, it feels connected to that
For
in some
sure.
kind of way.
A lot of people don't know what's next. They don't know what they want.
Yeah.
Maybe they kind of know what they want to do, but don't know how to get there.
Well, especially when I mean, she's only 23, so I mean, she does.
23 and a half.
Yeah, so she doesn't know about this experience that I'm going to say, but back when we were in school, like these types of programs not only didn't exist, but the teachers in school didn't even tell you that this was a thing.
Yeah.
So you had to figure out on your own through trial and error and industry developments that, oh, I can do this.
There's going to be even stuff like getting a checking account or getting your driver's license. Like what's the part in Gap Year where we help them with that?
It's a future ready track.
Okay.
So it's basically skills that employers are looking for, because like they can teach the technical, but they can't teach you how to like be
Yeah.
on time,
Right,
and
right.
show up and work well with other people.
Mm-hmm.
So we teach that at Gap Year.
Now, when you talked about Gap Year, there was a rumor that there was a student who had a success story. Is that someone that we could bring on the show
Gosh,
today?
let me text him with Sarah's phone real quick. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, like maybe he'll stop by.
What was his name?
His name's Jack McCowan.
Jack McCowan.
Yeah.
Okay. And so he was in the Gap Year program, or what program did he go through?
Yeah, Jack was a Gap Year student over this most recent year. He took the program, and he already had some experience doing photography, and he knew that he was really interested in that, and he wanted that we have the photo video pathway that gives access to the equipment, some instruction, a little bit of mentoring and access to network.
Yeah.
And so Jack is a student that went through that program and took full advantage of it.
Okay. Well, I was looking off of my peripheral and somebody just walked in. Is this
That
him?
sounds like a cue
Yeah,
for that
this
person
him?
to come sit in this chair over here.
This can't. Oh, this is him. Hey, what's up, man?
How we doing?
Dion, man. Hey, thanks for stopping by. You must have been close by, or your car's
How did
really
he find
fast.
this place?
Yeah, I
I
was
know.
just in the neighborhood.
Oh, that's what's up,
Yeah.
man.
Super coincidental.
Yeah, that's wild. Thanks for stopping in and taking some time out to talk about your experience in the Gap Year program. I won't grill you too hard, so we'll keep it in things you already know about. But introduce yourself. What's your skill set, and how'd you discover the Gap Year program?
So I've been involved with the Bay for like roughly 6 years. It was just kind of like going there to skate like when I was in high school. I lived a little over an hour away, so it was like kind of a trip. So, I mean, that kind of made it all worth it, just like to have that park, like a good park, because in the middle of Nebraska, there's not really any good parks.
Those are facts.
So I started off doing that, and then I met Mike Smith through that, and me and him just connected, and I dropped out of college. I was in college for 4 years.
Yeah.
And I dropped out, and I told Mike, I was like, man, I don't know what I want to do, the whole spiel. And he was like, we have this program called Gap Year, which I was aware what it was. And so I was like, all right, yeah, I'll take it. And so yeah, that's it's been a big part of the journey for sure.
Nice. So this was, I'm assuming you heard about the program prior to starting. So how long from when you decided you were going to do this to when you actually started the program?
Like a little less than 2 months, probably.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I didn't really have anything else to do at that point, so I was like, yeah, sure. I have Tuesdays and Thursdays open. Like, let's do it.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's good for all the potential cohorts out there to know that it's not this big waiting period. It's not a 2-year thing.
It could be real quick.
It can happen that same year, that same summer. So that's good to know. So you were in the Lincoln program, I'm assuming.
Yep.
Okay. So who impacted you the most going through the program? Like, would you say on the staff down there?
Matthew Ratliff, for sure. Big shout out to him. And Django and Audrey. Audrey, she like kind of set me in the right way. I do concert photography. That's like what I want to like really focus on. And so she does that as well. And so it's like complicated, like especially going into it without like knowing anything. So having her there for like to answer all these questions. Same with Django. I would have like questions about the camera, like when I would be at the show, and I'd be like,
Just texting me.
yeah,
I'm on the couch at 10:30 at night. My camera's doing this. Why is it? Send me screenshots.
yeah. And so he'd get me right, and yeah, those three for sure. But everybody had a lot to do. So
Can you
Nice.
talk about, like, I always thought it was interesting, like, he was talking about Audrey on our team who helps teach the photo video pathway, who is a music photographer. She, how did she help you with like figuring out how to like get gigs? Cause like you were like, okay, I want to shoot this band. They're playing at this venue. How do I get them to let me in to do that?
yeah, so she put me on to publications, and that's like a huge thing. So it's like I'm not going there independently because most bands like they won't really benefit from it. So I have to go through a publication, which is like magazine, newspaper, whoever. And so then hopefully they'll let you in if it's big enough. And so I did like 3 local shows, and then I started just like cold emailing all these magazines. Somehow one of them let me in. I'm still with them. It's a great magazine. And yeah, so I'm still there, and I'm doing shows pretty consistently now for bands I love. And
Nice.
yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Nice. So would you say you're entrepreneurial minded as well? Was that part of the reason you joined the program?
I think so. It's just I knew I wanted to be in a creative field of some sort, and college just wasn't it for me. So gap year was a really good choice by me.
Awesome. Now, how old are you now?
I'm 24, just turned 24.
I mean, the guy talks like a 35-year-old. He's like, yeah, you know, I'm going to do this programming and I'm going to work with the bands. I mean, the structure
At the Bay,
that
we teach young people how to talk.
it
right?
seems like something's working. So, yeah, that's great. So, you know, I just want to get into some banter for a second here. I've got my creative homies with me, and homiettes, can't leave off the homiettes.
Still homie.
Homie.
Yeah.
Let's talk about gear for a second. All right.
I'm
What-
about.
What do you?
Pedals.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
There's something for
Sorry.
every. You know, microphones are gear. Microphones are gear.
Yeah. it's-
What do you like to shoot with? Like, what's your go-to when you do these live bands?
So at the Bay, I was using a Sony A7 IV.
Okay.
And we had to give those camera kits back when, gap year ended. And so I ended up getting a A7 IV as well. And I'm used to it. I loved the camera. It was like, I don't know, it had everything that I needed, and it was really easy for me to find everything. That
Yeah.
was like my main thing.
I mean, that is a very profound compliment to Sony with how messy those menus are.
Sure.
But the A7 IV does have the flip-out screen, so give them a little grace with that.
Yeah.
You agree with that, or
That's a great hybrid camera for photography and video when you're learning. I mean, it's a full frame camera, so they can get a good understanding of what different focal lengths mean. It has 33 megapixels or something, which is like, you don't really need any more than that for photography, but it's enough. Like, you need to punch in on those concerts.
Yeah.
And it does crop in on the sensor when you're at 4K 60, but it's not that big a deal. And the video functions are really great. So that's why we chose that camera for these camera kits for gap year students. You do gap year, you do the photo video pathway. We set you up with camera kits that we bought from Rockbrook Camera, shout out. And then they get to use them for several months. And then eventually we have to get them back, unfortunately. And then that's when Jack starts texting me about like, hey, what camera should I get? Where should I buy it?
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, not a slouch in low light either. So your next show, if the photographer is not shooting with the Sony A7 IV, you just kick him out. This isn't acceptable. I need Jack. So
Yeah.
I would hire Jack.
I could see that. So yeah, there's been a lot of shifts happening, not just in the the camera space and all of the content creator space in general, but just in the job market as well. So how's the program accounting for that? Like the shift in AI and the shift with, how jobs are being created and things like that. Is there any like preparedness or readiness being rolled into it?
I know that we do partnerships with SEC and Lincoln, and we try to do like Google certifications. But yeah, AI is one thing that we have explored doing a pathway for that gap year.
Yeah, I think that's a great part of it as well, is like a lot of the bigger entities aren't able to be as nimble, and that's a big part of why the Bay has a space, right? Because you're able to react and adjust to the market demands as they go. This has been a really exciting conversation. I learned about the Bay. I learned about each of you here, so thanks for coming out today. Any other tips, advice for the youth before we close out the show today?
I'll go first. We say this at OGR. It's usually to help alleviate stage fright, but I think this applies to a lot of folks in that people want to see you succeed. And being clear about your goals and what you want, people will usually try to do their best to help you attain those. So just being kind of really out there with your passion, people will try to steer you in the right direction.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear how Jack applies those thoughts to what's been going on with him. I'm thinking about the network that you had access to through Gap Year, resulting in connections Matthew set you up with Red Bull.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the soapbox races that Red Bull does. They're insane. And
those little like kit cars or whatever, isn't it?
but on like a bigger scale. And
You
like,
get in them, right?
Yeah. It's super gnarly. Like you've probably seen videos somewhere. They're big on like social media. So Red Bull is this company that I've like loved forever. And so Matthew Ratliff at the Bay and Gap Year, he used to plan all of the events at the Bay for like the skating events. And a couple of them were like Red Bull events. So I just asked him, I was like, do you still know somebody from Red Bull? And he's like, yeah, hit up this guy. And so I hit him up in like February. I didn't hear anything back. And then I like circled back around to him like a month or two later. And he got back to me like right away. And he was like, you hit me at the perfect time. Actually, we have this coming up in a month, and we're wondering if you want to shoot like B-roll and other video for the Discovery Channel. The soapbox races have a show, and it's on Discovery Channel, and it's just Red Bull and Discovery Channel doing it. So I shot that. So it was a lot of trips to Des Moines, but super fun. The event was a super long day, but
And you didn't even feel comfortable shooting video at the time either, right?
No,
He said, can you shoot video? And you're like, yeah.
yeah.
And then you text me and you're like, hey, I need some help with these settings.
Yeah. I had no video experience at that, pretty much no video experience at that point. But I'm like not gonna say no to like Red Bull. I was like, this is a dream company, so I'm not gonna like give this up. And then I called Django instantly, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna need some help here. And just
But you were determined. That's the thing, is like you decided like, this is an opportunity. I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna figure out what the gap is between where I am and where I need to be successful in it, and then I'm gonna do those things.
Yeah.
I love that. That is such a gem for content creators. I've done the same thing. I'm not even going to lie, especially when it comes like drone and some of these like outlier things that get requested. At this point, it's less of that, but for sure, starting off, it's a thing we all go through. That you say yes and you figure it out. So good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you doing that.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. So before we wrap up, I just have a little pop quiz for you guys. And This will test your knowledge of your engagement with the content parlor on social media.
Oh no.
We recently posted that we're doing a conference. It's called the Parlor Awards. Now, for those who know, the Content Parlor is a social club for content creators. So you can think of it like a golf club, right? So you go to a golf club, you can work on your putter, your 9-iron. You can work on like the wind and even how to ride a golf cart, right? You can learn all these things at a golf club, plus the networking. So the Content Parlor, the brand, that's what that is. The Parlor Awards is the networking piece. And so this is a conference for content creators to network, to learn, to build relationships with other people in the industry. That'll be coming up in November of this year, and we're gonna do it at the Culture House for this one. All right. We've got some special guests coming in. It's going to be an exciting event, but this will be an annual event when it's all said and done. The question is for you, hearing what you've just heard so far, I see some eyebrows over there. What do you think? Do you think that something like that is needed, like a conference for content creators here in Omaha, Nebraska? And if so, what would you like to see at an event like that?
I think that's great. Just a place, especially like a conference or anything really. If just like young creatives and just anybody in the space can come together and just meet and talk, that can take you extremely far. So it's a good opportunity for everybody involved.
Shout out Red Bull. What, can we count on you to be there?
That's to echo what Jack said. You get some creatives in a room, you start chatting about stuff. Like sometimes Sarah and I sit next to each other at work, and every now and then we'll be talking nonsense, and then one of us will say something and we'll both realize like, no, that thing was actually cool though. We did have a moment.
A synergy.
And like when creatives get in a room and they experience that, it can result in 2 weeks later you're doing a video shoot for that thing that was just some dumb comment, So like that networking piece is really important.
I love it. That's a good observation.
I love the connecting piece of it. I also love if it's awards, so like celebration.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think that there's something to be said about healthy competition.
Oh my goodness, so many things go to my mind when you said that. But yeah, there will be an awards show. So it's called the Parlor Awards because the last hour of the conference is actually a red carpet awards show where we're recognizing and celebrating content creators. Right now we're working on some packages where prizes will be given away as well. So folks will win, cameras and equipment to help them. We're fundraising for that through sponsorship. So if you want to support the event, hit us up at nerds@contentparlor.com to sponsor the event. But yeah, I like what everybody said today. Those are great commentary for the Parlor Awards. This is the first year, so we're looking for feedback, and as we develop it, we'll refine it from there. Any other thoughts before we close out?
Thanks for having us.
Thank
This is
you.
great.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Thank you, and thank you for letting me sit on this side so I don't show my acne.
I'm just glad I didn't wear my Doncic jersey today. I was going to, but I just did not.
You should have wore it. We
Yeah.
could have argued about whether Doncic is the GOAT or LeBron is the GOAT. I'm sure that would have got some clicks.
You need to take some time. Yeah, it's going to take some time before you can really know.
Just want to say neither of those players are the GOAT.
Ooh.
Oh.
So
Jordan, I'm a Bulls fan.
he's a Bulls
Come on.
fan, of course.
But
Yeah.
like the younger generation that is like calling Jordan the GOAT, like usually younger generation that didn't see Jordan thinks Bron is.
Well, brainwashing is still a thing. So, yeah, I mean,
I think it's whether you know ball or not. I think that's what it is.
no, that's just a gut punch at that point. That's just a gut punch. So we settled it right here. LeBron is clearly the GOAT. I mean, he's clearly joking and trolling. You see the jersey. You see what show we're on. It's the
2-1.
Content Parlor.
2-1.
All right, we'll see you guys on the next episode. Thanks for joining us. Leave a like and comment below if you like this episode and tell us what you think. And that's a wrap.
Sweet.
Boop, boop, boop. All right.